Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Your mom in the fucking stand!
Yeah, there it is right there on the...
Aww.
Yeah.
Damn, homie.
Yeah, that's a big one, man. There's my belly.
And is that Kirk Fox in one of those photos there?
No.
Oh, I love
Oh,
your
yeah, it is
art.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your paintings
I'm
are
painting.
amazing.
Yeah, I like to
there's
paint.
Kirk.
Kirk.
Love that guy.
Yeah, Kirk's great.
He's great.
There's my Tilda Swinton right there.
Yes.
She's
you do
great.
such great
There's my doorknob.
stuff.
It's like a top.
Is that Joe Coy too? Did I see Joe?
Joe?
No, right?
No,
Oh,
Joe
that's
who?
him.
I can't tell.
There's Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, yeah.
Did you draw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Dude, that's
these
really good, Kevin.
on
Thanks,
the
bud.
You
gram.
drew that?
Yeah, I've been painting during the COVID thing. All those
Jesus.
all the artwork up there is my stuff there.
It's amazing.
Dude,
But-
that's incredible.
Thanks, man. I do a lot of stuff, Tom, but nothing really good.
That's
You know?
really good,
That is
man.
I'm a pretty
really
good artist,
good.
pretty good comic. I'm a pretty good pilot. Just can't get off the ground.
I don't want it to go in the plane.
I like your
Did you
hat
show
as
that to
Sean.
Chris?
It's good.
No.
No.
I mean, I might have tagged him,
Oh.
so he might have seen it, but I haven't heard
Was
from
he a
him.
good castmate?
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of like, he came in the second wave with like Farley and Sandler and Spade and those guys. So they were kind of, there was like an age difference there. They were like the younger, newer guys, and they were off in another wing. And I go over and visit them, and they'd be like, it would be like visiting your kids on the dorm,
Oh, right.
like there's pizza boxes on the floor and everything, and Playboy magazines everywhere. And Rock, I remember, had an office off of theirs. But his was like really organized. He had like Malcolm X posters on the wall,
Yeah.
and Martin Luther King books everywhere.
Yeah.
So he had his stuff together. But those guys were just like talking about their triumphs the night before and who they bedded, and
Yeah. They're animals. Well,
they're totally animals, man. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like that. That cast with you and all them. That was that was my
Dude, I was there for
class.
so long. I was there for 9 years. So I saw, it was like a prison, not a prison, stint, but it was like seeing inmates coming and going.
Right.
And
Right.
I saw everyone from people you don't even remember being on the show, like, Sarah Silverman, Ben Stiller.
They were in the cast.
Yeah.
But Sarah
Forget
got
that.
fired after the first season, yeah?
And there's a
She
lot
left.
more, yeah.
And Stiller, I remember the story with him was that like he showed up, he did a little bit, and then he opted to go do his own show,
I think so.
which I think is a real fucking ballsy move for a young performer.
Oh, yeah.
To get SNL and be like, I think I'm gonna do my own thing.
Well, there's people that wanted to be on that show and break free right away and become a huge star.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating when they didn't, because
Yeah.
it's an ensemble show.
Right.
And plus the stress of the show too, I think, put people in a position where
Oh my gosh.
they really wanted something to happen quickly, or they would feel like they're failing.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that, because I was never a sketch player to begin with. I was a stand-up. I just
Yeah.
happened to get on the show. And so I was just happy that I wasn't fired each week. I think, oh, really? You want to go another week? Okay. And then after 9 years, I think I was just tired of it, because I was going out and I was doing sketches with other people, like with food in my mouth still from the craft service table.
Yeah.
I'm doing my scene and picking my mouth, food out of my mouth. I'm doing a scene with Tom Hanks or something, And I thought, maybe I'm ready to move on to something
Well,
else.
that's the thing, is that when you get to hear about people's experiences on that show, first of all, it's like 6 days a week, right? You're
Yeah.
working 12-hour days, 6 days a week. So it's physically grueling. And then all the mind games and all the bullshit stuff that happens. I mean, are your adrenals just shot from having been on that show for 9 years?
It does burn you out. I realized early on that it wasn't a sprint, it was a marathon. So I didn't beat myself up if I didn't get a sketch on. And I was only hired to be a feature player, which means guaranteed 7 shows out of 22, and a writer the first season. And then the second season, I was offered the opportunity to become a regular cast member, or you could just keep your writing credit and be a feature. And of course, I took the regular cast member and continued to write, but didn't get credit like everybody on there that, was a cast member. And I'm glad I did it, because, it was a great experience for me. But, I was not like a lot of those other people. I was like happy to be working with Steve Martin or,
So cool.
Mick Jagger, to watch them play. And sometimes they'd stay after and they'd play a little concert like Eric Clapton or whomever, And I got to work with these dinosaurs that are no longer, like Robert Mitchum and Charlton Heston,
Yeah.
Wild.
and musicians that are no longer around. Like, who's the guy that sang Pretty Woman? Roy Orbison. Yeah, Roy Orbison.
Wow.
I always imagine just the anxiety. Like I'll hear about, new cast hirings or something, or I'll just talk to somebody like you and I'm like, man, I try to picture how anxious and nervous I would feel like that first week on the job. Of like, hey, we're all in the room now.
Oh my God.
Like,
Did you have diarrhea?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember doing my first sketch. It was a Mr. Subliminal. It was a character I did. And it was kind of complicated because there's like two conversations going on at once.
Right.
And we're 5 seconds away from coming out of the commercial break. And this is my first sketch. And I'm in Studio 8H. And Lorne Michaels, the producer, comes up and he puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, "Are you sure this is what you want?"
Oh my God.
And
Wait,
it
what
was,
did he mean by that? Like this life?
He was being
joking.
funny.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. At the last minute like that. There's no backing out now. Are you sure this is what you want?
Yeah.
But I always saw like nobody was watching the show. You do things to psych yourself out.
Yeah.
Like what you did before your procedure.
Yeah.
And I just assumed that nobody was watching the show anymore because it almost got canceled the year before, and they hired pretty much a whole new cast. So I thought, okay, nobody's watching the show. The only people in here are the people that are seeing it, are the 300 people. I've played the bigger rooms than this.
Yeah.
And then there's cameras, and there's no film in those cameras.
Yeah.
So let's pretend everybody.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got through it.
What I always imagined was the most stressful, and I may have even told you this before, but you know how there's a thing where like we're sitting around pitching jokes, if you're with friends there's a certain way, but like if you're with like there's a thing where you could pitch jokes and like just really throw out a dud, and you can if you feel like being snarky, you can look at the person next to you or just be like, oh, you can react. So I always, because I've never seen it or anything, imagine the intensity of that pitch room of like everyone in there and be like,
God.
Hey, what are you working on? And you're like, so I got this thing, and like how you can probably bomb so hard.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right? It's like epic bombs.
Well, here, let me set up the scenario for you. Yep. Every Monday afternoon, you meet in Lorne's office on the 17th floor at 30 Rock with the host for that coming week.
Uh-huh.
And he sits in the big leather chair in front of Lorne's desk. Lorne sits across from him with a bowl of popcorn and a water. And everyone else, the entire cast, squeezes into the office. There's plenty of other rooms that are much bigger, but we're doing it in there. There's not enough seats for everybody. They got to stand against the wall,
Cool.
And they still do it like this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Probably. And Lorne goes, after we do our hellos to the host, and they say, well, we've got we have some ideas for you, John Malkovich, and we, Phil, why don't you start? What do you have? Well, I have this idea where, and everybody pitches their idea. And it took me a while, but I finally learned that you don't pitch an idea that you're really excited about, because if nobody laughs, it takes all the wind out of your sails and you don't do it. And it could be a really good sketch. So I would pitch the same phony sketch idea every week. It was a runaway truck stop. You ever seen those things? The gravel down a downhill for trucks that lose their brakes. They go down that path and the gravel slows them down.
You pitched it every week?
Every week.
Wait, wouldn't they call you out? Wouldn't he be like, come on with this?
No, they kind of got it. They thought, he doesn't want to give up the good stuff. Okay. And the host always kind of liked that idea. But none of them ever asked me, at the end of the week, hey, whatever happened to the truck stop idea?
No. Yeah.
So it would be like a bar at the end of that truck ramp.
So if the thing is, like, you say that on Monday to just kind of buy you, and then when do you reveal your actual?
Well, you reveal the actual thing. If you're writing alone, you reveal it when they read your script on Wednesday in the table read. Okay. And when there's a big stack of scripts that takes like 4 or 5 hours to get through.
Oh my God.
And you don't know where your script is in that pack,
Okay.
And so that's how it's done.
Holy shit.
So hold on. So you could pitch in the room, and let's say Lorne loves the idea. Everyone loves. Is that like a green light? Hey, you're doing that on Saturday.
I mean, there's some good things about pitching something that people like, because then they'll say, why don't you team up with the head writer, because they want to get it done, and they'll kind of keep an eye on it and see it through, because it's very difficult to get a sketch on that show, because there's only, I think, maybe 10 slots for sketches, maybe. I don't even remember.
Oh, you guys pitch like 100 things.
Yeah, and you go in heavy on the dress rehearsal. I think there's 2 or 3 extra sketches that they're going to cut after the dress rehearsal. And you find that out when you go into Lorne's 8th floor office. right before, in between the two shows, and you look on the board and you don't see yours on the index card, and you realize you just got cut. But it's a process. It's a procedure.
A procedure.
A procedure. And so I find that the best advice I can give a newcomer on there is to always include the host in your sketch, and if you can, Lorne Michaels.
Oh, well, then for sure it's going to go because he wants to do it. Oh, that's funny.
Include him.
Yeah.
Because how often would he appear? I feel like every once in a while.
Every once in a while, like a hall sketch or something. Nothing like as a character thing, but more as playing himself.
And he's into that.
I think occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he likes show business. I don't blame him.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Jeans. Did you like that highlight? Well, you can watch an entire episode here or more highlights here. But definitely subscribe here. That way you can, get the latest videos as they drop. For real, 4 strokes.